Everybody again. Um, got a recording going, so we're all set. But this is our Monday Mastermind. I'm going to get started right away telling you a little bit about what we're doing because we have a very special guest for you here today. What I want you to know is that we're called Grow Global because we are a large, diverse group of agents and brokers all across the country, and sometimes we get international folks who are on. That's quite the commitment. Sometimes they're on in the middle of the night and things like that. But so we are with all different types of experiences, different levels where we're at in our career. And the great part is you get a smorgasbord of ideas and concepts. And what we like to say is take what you like and leave the rest. Now, we have a ton of different items for you to help you to keep up with us. One of them we have is a Facebook page. It'll pull up here in a second. Let's see, maybe it will. Hang on one second. Stop sharing, come back in. Let's try it again. Let's see if I can share here. There we go. Oh, there we go. It was going slow. So there's our Facebook page. It's called Grow Global Mastermind Academy. Inside there, we do all kinds of different posts. Whoever invited you to our mastermind will give you a chance to give you an invite to that. We have 322 members there. And of course, we know Mondays are busy times for real estate agents, especially at noon Eastern Standard Time. So we do record these. Here's the thing I would recommend to you. I would recommend coming live. Here's why. Two reasons. Number one is because you're going to be able to participate. You're going to be able to get a chance to ask questions. You can put them in the chat or you can raise your hand on the bottom and we'll call you to unmute. The second reason is this. It's a little selfish on your part. I'm not saying you're selfish. I'm saying this would be a selfish thing for you. And that is we're going to take the video and we're going to condense it into shorts. And so if you're somebody who's providing good content and asking good questions and being engaged, you may find yourself featured on our website as one of the shorts, and then you can take that and share it to your website. And what that does for your sphere of influence is shows that, look, you're participating in this national mastermind and you're providing all this great content and it's third-party validation for you. Okay, so there you go. So definitely show up live. We also have an Instagram page where we post all our different announcements. One of the things that's great about our Instagram page, if you let us know something good that has happened for you, maybe you've hit a milestone, maybe you're on the cover of a magazine, things like that. Hey, let us know. We'll create a graphic for you on our page, and then you can take it and share it to your page. Again, third-party validation, right? Because if other people talk good about you, that's a good thing. If you talk good about yourself, well, then you're kind of a jerk, right? And of course, we have a web page. Our web page is here, and it has all kinds of different opportunities that you can explore across the top up there. But what I want you to see is our events tab. Our events tab tells us what we have coming up on Mondays. And today, the reason I'm talking so fast to get out of the way is we have a special guest here today. He is from EXP. He's a corporate executive there. And I can tell you, he trains thousands and thousands and thousands of agents. And today, you're going to have his ear and hear from him today. He's going to be talking about winning strategies from top producing agents. He coaches and trains agents from people who are just beginning to agents that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. So you're going to find the proven strategies from top producing agents that can help you generate more leads, create stronger client connections, and grow your business through social media, open houses, and more. And so with that, please let me get out of the way and introduce for you Brian Ellington. Brian, take it away.
All right. Hey, thanks for letting me come play, everybody. Let me see. I've got a PowerPoint that I'm going to PowerPoint you to death with. Just give me a quick thumbs up. Let me know that you can see my screen in the chat. Awesome.
Can see
Awesome.
it.
All right. I've got a lot of really cool things to share with you, and I'm going to horse trade with you a little bit. I'm from Austin, Texas. If you'll let me share with you what my team has been doing along the way, I'm going to share with you the brilliance of the top agents that we've been interviewing. When my team goes to create training, we don't just sit down and start writing. We go out and we interview at least 24 top agents at that thing, whether it be Instagram, open houses, you name it. We interview at least 24 top agents and we compile all their wisdom into one spot. So, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Brian Ellington. So, a little bit about me as we get started. If I haven't yet had the pleasure, thanks for letting me come play. My mom was a real estate agent for 30 years. And so, of course, I said, I'm never getting into real estate. Hi, Brian Ellington. Nice to meet you, Realtor. So I've been in this business for 24 years now and going. I spent several years as an agent. I was 15 years at that red sign company, KW. I not only drank the Kool-Aid, I mixed it. I was their chief products officer, chief learning officer, and COO for their international franchising. I jokingly tell people I got kidnapped, thrown in the back of a trunk, and driven to New Jersey, where I served out a 6 year sentence with Realogy. Oops, now called Anywhere. Oops, now called Compass. I can't keep up. If you're not familiar, they have Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Better Homes and Gardens, Sotheby's, Cork and Climb, all those brands all in one shop. I was head of training and coaching for all of them, and then was chief operating officer for and chief development officer for Century 21 for a couple of years before I went out on my own. And then my old friends Glenn and Leo from my Red Kool-Aid days said, "Hey, what are you doing over there? Why don't you come over and play with us?" And so I did. I joined EXP in October 23 as their chief learning officer. And so today I get the fun privilege of doing this for a living, sitting around talking with top producing agents about what's working for them. Just a quick thing for you all. I cannot say this enough. I'm not a lawyer, but I play one on TV. It's not paranoia if they're out to get you, and they are out to get you, folks. There are troll law firms that specialize in going after us. Me? Yes, you, lady in the back. You. They specialize in going after you for violations of TCPA and DNC. So that's why we provide you Dial Safe. We're going to talk about outreach in this call. So I just want to remind you, Dial Safe is free for you. You've got that. Use it, please. You do not want those fines. All right. Quickly in the chat, let me get my chat open. Give me a one in the chat if you are a team leader or a capper at least. Team leader or capper at least. Give me a one in the chat. All right, cool. All right, so a handful of you. So you guys, I don't know, play Sudoku or whatever, because we're going to be talking about like learning stuff, and you guys have already got it figured out, right? I mean, you've got it all dialed in. Your business is doing exactly what you want, and you are good. Yeah? No. Okay, good. Well, so here's the thing. In every business planning class you've likely been through, you've probably worked through mathematical equations to figure out if I want this much more money, I need to do this many more deals, right? In our business is a pretty simple one, right? There's 1.5 million of us that try to make it complicated and screw it up, but it is really simple. And yeah, you can use a mathematical equation. I need this much GCI, so I need this many closings, I need this many contracts, I need this many agreements, I need this many appointments, I need this many conversations. Cool. But the question is, when you think about your business, for the last 12 months, whatever metric you use, don't care, GCI, units, volume, think about your number for a second, whatever that is for you. Here's the deal. Everything in your business right now, your lead gen systems, your lead conversion systems, your client service systems, all of it is designed to do exactly what it just did and not a penny more, period. And so, in order to get more out of your business, if you're a $5 million producer and want to get to 10 million, if you're a $10 million producer and want to get to 20, I don't care. Three things have to change in your business: add, edit, delete. Add. There are things that a $10 million producer does that a $5 million producer doesn't do. You're going to have to add those into your business. Edit. There are things that you're doing that you're going to have to do differently. More of, or more refined, better skills, better pricing skills, for example, than what we had back in 2021 when you could just stick the sign in the yard and everything was golden. Delete. I went and saw Chick-fil-A used to do this thing called Leader Cast every year. And I went and saw that one year, Truett Cathy Sr., the guy who founded Chick-fil-A, he said, I have two lists on my desk, a to-do list and a stop doing list. And I can't put anything on the to-do list unless I put something on the stop doing list. And likely there are things that you are doing that are holding you back. There are things that a $5 million producer does that a $10 million producer absolutely won't do. I had a friend of mine who was the number one agent in the country in 2020, 500 deals per year as a solo agent. He had like 16 admin. But when you talk to him about how he ramped up his business, he had an a la carte menu. Hang a lockbox for me, $25. Put a sign in the ground, $40. Smoke cert, $25. So on and so forth. You see them all the time. If you go into a traditional brick and mortar office, just go to the coffee pot. Those agents, they don't have anything going on. They would gladly take your $25 to go hang your lockbox for you. And you have better things to do. And so when we talk about these things, add, edit, delete, for your business, for your goals in the next 12 months, do you know what those three things are specifically? Do you have proven strategies for those things? Because if you don't, hi, Brian Ellington, I'd like to apply for the job. And everything I'm going to show you next is free. You're already paying for it. You don't have to pay me a dollar more to get everything that I'm about to share with you. And again, reminder, when we talk about this, this isn't me dreaming stuff up or anything like that. I've written a bunch of training courses over my 20 plus years in this industry, but I don't put pen to paper until my team has gone out and done a minimum of 24 interviews. And I'll talk about that along the way. If you're looking at this, when I get to a certain point in here, you're going to go, "Oh, I didn't know we had that." And that's Friday's meeting, the big agent meeting. If there's one thing I'd love for you to pay attention to, it's the big agent meeting. Every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, Glenn, Leo, Holly Mabry, Wendy Forsythe, myself, and others come on to the big agent meeting. We share with you what's new with EXP, but we share with you what's new with the industry, like when NAR wets the bed, which unfortunately they keep doing a lot. We need to get them some rubber sheets or something. But when those types of things happen, we get on there and we're giving very clear directions about what to do next. Also, too, we bring on top agents and we interview them about their strategies. Literally, different agents each time, different things that they're monsters at, but we get them to tell you step by step what they do. It is 30 minutes. It is well worth your time. It's up on our YouTube channel, eXp Realty's YouTube channel. We broadcast it live Friday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then the recording is there. Do take a listen. You will get a lot out of each one. It's not fluff. We're not trying to, give you commercials from all, Bob the mortgage guy and all that stuff. We're really trying to help you build your business. Okay, first thing I'll share with you. You drive to appointments and you listen to Barry Manilow when you have real questions about how to do things better in your business. So I want to urge you to stop listening to Barry. I know Copacabana is a classic. I get it, and start listening to KGCI. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, don't care, Spotify Music, Apple Podcasts, don't care. We have KGCI. It's real estate on air. We have 60 plus shows. These are top real estate agents talking to real estate agents. And I don't care what bent you have in this industry, probate, commercial, we have shows for you. We have over 3,000 episodes in our archives. All of them are searchable, by the way, on expuniversity.com, or you can go to wherever you listen to Spotify. And there are a ton of agents listening to this stuff, and it is amazing content curated for you all. And again, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. By the way, if you do podcasting, I know a lot of people do podcasting as part of their attraction. If you do, let us know. We'd love to talk with you about potentially resyndicating your show on our airs if it meets our goals. All right, so I am going to share with you training at different levels. I'm going to start by talking to the emerging agents, but don't tune out because more experienced agents and team leaders, I think you'll see yourself in this in a second. First is fast cap, and unfortunately that's wrong. The next cohort is July. I believe it's July 8th, whatever that Wednesday is that week, is the next cohort. If you're not familiar, I could tell you everything about the 6 weeks, but here's what's most important. What you're looking at is the tale of two numbers. On the left-hand side are the average people who just complete the course. On the right-hand side are the people who actually do the work of the course. And I jokingly say this to them, by work, I don't mean dig ditches. That's not what we do for a living, friends. We make friends and we help them with real estate. That's the work of FastCap. just making friends and helping them with real estate. 6.9 appointments, 3.9 agreements in 6 weeks. Please don't self-indict. What did your last 6 weeks look like? Because if it didn't look like this, I'd love for you to come and hang with us. James Clear, in the book Atomic Habits, he said, "We imitate the close, the many, and the powerful." You have goals, and those goals require actions. Who are you hanging around that is doing those things on a consistent basis? Because the answer to that question is why this is not just a course for new agents. We built it for that, and yet we have multi-time icons coming into this course. Why? Because, like all of you on this call, we all could stand to knock the dust off of our database every once in a while and get back to what made us successful. You remember that thing that you forgot about when you got busy? Yeah, that thing. And in that course, that's what we're doing. Now, listen, we interviewed 70 rookie rock stars in building this, people who had done a minimum of 2 deals in their first 6 months and a minimum of 12 deals in their first year in real estate. 70 of them. That's what we used to build this course. Is there great information in there? Yes. But even those experienced agents on here who already have the basics down, it's the activity and the accountability and the energy of the group. And those of you who've been to FastCap before, cool. I've been to the gym before. It was 1987. It was a cool, crisp fall day. I remember it well. Turns out that's not how gyms work, and that's not how FastCap works either. So if you've got goals, if you're not yet doing the activities to get on track with those goals, come play with us. And I'll share something with you. We did this recently. We have enough faith in this course because we've seen what happens from the numbers. We just want to get more people to complete the course and not give in to inertia and other things. And so we sweeten the deal. We went to realty.com and we got their Seller Pro package. And if you're not familiar, it has a few different elements. It has a buyer cultivation tool, national IDX search that attaches you for referrals. If anybody uses your portal to find a property out of town, you get the referral. Cool. It has a seller cultivation tool, very similar to HomeBot or Fellow, if you're familiar. You can put your database on it. It sends them not one, but three AVMs. And then we encourage agents to call up those sellers. Don't wait for them to ask you which of these AVMs is right. You call them up and you tell them, I just sent you your home valuation for the month. I'm betting you're looking at those three, wondering which one is right. And the answer is none of them is right because none of them knows what you and Sarah have done with the home since you purchased it 2 years ago. So if you guys have something coming up in the near future, I'd love to come over, take a look, and tell you which one is actually right, give you a fair sense of what your home would be worth if you were to list with me. That's a script. Cool tool, right? But that's not what people are most excited about. So let me just tell you, we did this over a 6 weeks period. This was our pilot. 384 agents. We gave 1,930 leads. Uh, Need you to pay attention to this. 90% of them are seller leads. 90% of them are seller leads. Listing agents on the call. Listing agents. How long did it take you to become a listing agent? If you're honest, how long did it take you? In the chat, tell me. Listing agents. How long till you became a listing agent? Yeah. For most of us, it's like when our buyers finally realize they don't want to be in that house anymore. And that's when we become a listing agent. So imagine being a brand new agent and taking a listing. Imagine being a brand new agent and taking multiple listings, which by the way, we've had. Imagine being a brand new agent and going on $1 million listing appointment. We've had multiple of those. My friend Jeremy Kane, we were in a group and I was talking about this and he raised his hand. He said, yeah, this woman in my rev share group, Gabrielle Lawson, she called me up in a panic because she had $1 million listing appointment, had no idea what to say. So I went with her on the appointment. That's what my wife would call a first class problem, right? But imagine that. My life's work in this industry has been about erasing the 87%. Depending upon who you ask, somewhere between 75 and 80% of agents fail out of this business within the first 5 years. Bulk of them, by the way, is within the first 2 years. My goal with FastCap and then adding this on top of it is to help more agents bridge that real estate valley of death that we've all gone through so that they can put food on the table for themselves and their families. By the way, this number has gone to like 13,000 leads for, I think it's 1,800 agents. So you can do the math. If you complete FastCap, we will give you this package for 12 months after FastCap on me. I'm paying for it. Go to FastCap, do the work, stick with us in the coaching sessions afterward, and we'll keep this going. And by the way, we have agents on there we've gotten 49 leads in no time whatsoever. And again, 90% of these are seller listing leads. Okay. All right. So, based on the success of FastCap, a bunch of folks asked us to create an attraction boot camp as well, and we call that Fast Attract. Next one is coming up, I believe it's July 13th, whatever that Wednesday, whatever that Monday is of that week. So Attract is a 6 weeks course, and again, we went out and we interviewed 58 attractors. And if you're thinking, yeah, I'd like to build a rev share group, but I don't want to be a recruiter. Ew, we don't want you to be a recruiter either. That's gross. Don't do that. Instead, come learn how to add value to people's lives. Come learn how to help your realtor friends in your community because we will give you that value. We will give you the things that will help them build their business. So all you have to do is just be the coach to become their coach. Because let me just be honest with you, when, not if, their broker wets the bed, they are going to call someone. And if you've been helping them build their career, they are going to call you, period. That's how you attract, not by calling up and manipulating the conversation and talking them into leaving their brokerage. You're not that good a salesperson, neither am I. But if you can learn how to add value to somebody's life, not only would you have created a friend in your local market, which is important because sooner or later, either they're going to have the buyer and you're going to have the seller or vice versa, but you've also just helped another individual. And I don't know about you, but when I was 7 years old, I wanted to help the world as well. I just thought it'd be a cape and spandex. I didn't think it'd be in real estate. So come be part of that and learn how to help other agents. Top agents and team leaders here. We have 2 calls for you each month. First and third Tuesdays of the month, our top elite solo agents. One call we have Leo and a top coach, John Cheplack, Tom Ferry, Brian Buffini, so on and so forth, you name it. And then another call each month, we have a top solo agent come on and talk about what they do. We had Kim Fraser, who is a literally on track to do over 100 million this year, primarily from geographic farming and open houses. We have her come on and tell you how she does open houses. Suman Kim, who's done over 200 million from YouTube, we had him come on and talk about how he does YouTube. Different person every month. Team leaders, same thing for you. The first Thursday of the month, Leo and a coach comes on, and then the third Thursday of the month, we have a different team leader come on and share. We had Jeff Cavender come on and share his recruiting system using Indeed for his team. We had Allison Greco she has her new team members do at least 3 deals in the first 90 days, all self-generated, not team leads. And they do. So we had her come on and share what she does. Different team leader each month. And it's a great call, absolutely free, available to you. If you go on expuniversity.com and register for these, you'll see the archive for them all as well. Okay. Uh, and one last thing, then I'm going to get into some content here to help you. Uh, Agent Accelerator. So we had these fine individuals last fall come on and do an 8 week session. We're doing oh whoops. Let me redo that. I don't know what just happened. Are you guys still seeing my screen?
No.
Oh.
Did you guys?
Uh, you're seeing my screen?
Jim,
Yes,
did
we
you
can see
see
it.
it?
We can see it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
this is why I'm not Chief Technology Officer. Hi. So we have 6 weeks coming up starting July 14th. Phil Stringer, Kyle Mark, Jason Weinberger, Emily Terrell, and others are going to join us. We're going to do 6 different sessions on AI. AI is your personal assistant, AI for listings, AI for marketing, and more. Even our very own Mr. Glenn Sanford is going to come do an AI session for you as well. We're going to do live builds, give you custom GPTs and gems, give you takeaway prompts that you can use from every single session. And again, all free, all part of being with EXP. So look out for the marketing. That'll probably start later this week. Okay. Um, you guys ready? I'm going to give you some top wisdom from some of our brilliant folks that we've interviewed. And I want to start by kind of expanding your thinking. Um, a fun fact, NAR says that for every 100 people that you know who are of the age and financial capability of buying and selling real estate, for every 100 people you know, 8 are going to transact this year, more or less. 8. So question for you. How many of those 8 are you going to capture in your business? Because it ain't 8, by the way, because everybody's got a cousin Daryl and another cousin Daryl who's a realtor. And so the question becomes, how well are you adding value to these folks? Because again, you're a great salesperson. You're not so good that you're going to convince somebody to buy or sell before they're ready. Our job is just to simply add value to them so that when they are ready, they choose us. So what percent of the 8 are you going to capture? Well, a lot of it has to do with how well your SOI and your database systems are, and I want to talk about that in a second. But let's be generous and let's say you're going to capture 2 of the 8, 25%. It's pretty good actually. But is your goal to do 2 transactions this year? If your goal is to do 20, we're not talking about 100 anymore. Now we're talking about 1,000 folks. And if we're adding number 1,000 to our database on December 31st, 2026, we're not getting a deal out of that person, right? We have to be adding value to them over time such that when they're ready, they choose us. So the question becomes, how quickly can you front end load your database to get to your goals? Because think about whatever lead pillar or pillars, hopefully, that you use in your business. They are a treadmill. I had a friend of mine who's a Mike Ferry coach for 10 years. He was a big FISBO expired guy. Every morning, he got up and he called at 8 a.m. every single morning for 10 years because he didn't have a database. So guess what he got to do every single morning for 10 years? Deal with some real stressed out sellers. Oh man, talk about letting an air out of balloons. Um, and the thing of it is, here's my philosophy of life. Cool people know cool people, jerks know jerks. When you're working out of your database, they're known quantities. You get to choose who you want to work with. Any other form of lead generation, pretty much, you're rolling the dice about who walks in that door. And for most agents, and I can tell you after countless conversations with top agents, the biggest regret is not building their database sooner. It's why we give you the 3 databases of choice to choose from and also get you a discounted FUB. So in January, I had the Zillow Flex teams come to me and say, hey, don't tell anybody, but we don't really like Zillow. And we don't want to do this anymore. Can you help us get our agents? I'm being a little facetious, but they did want to minimize the amount of business that Zillow was for their teams. And so I said, cool, we've got some training, but let me do a special challenge for you. And here's what happened. Over the course of 4 weeks, we had 15 top teams of 7 members each. And the goal for each team was 7,000 unique conversations. Hey, baby, 7,000 unique conversations in 4 weeks for a team of 7. And here's what happened. Take a look at the numbers real quick. Take a look at the top team. That's Brian Bird's team in El Paso, Texas. I don't even think there's 2,600 people in El Paso, Texas. I'm kidding, there is, but not a whole lot more. Um, Look at Summer Hoffman, by the way. 582 conversations. This is 4 weeks. Summer set 38 buyer appointments and I think 13 listing appointments in 4 weeks. So let me ask you a question. What lies are you telling yourself about what's possible in your business? What lies are you telling yourself about what's possible in your business? 38 buyer appointments and 13 listing appointments in 4 weeks. Wouldn't you like to hit October and go, you know what? Let's go on vacation for the rest of the year. The choice is yours, whatever you want to believe in terms of this business. But here's what I believe about this business. Our role is to make friends and help them with real estate. The more people that you can make friends with, the better off you're going to be. So then the question becomes, well, how do I make friends with them and how do I help them with real estate? And I'm so glad you asked, lady in the back, because we've been working on this. So we've been going out and interviewing a minimum of 24 rock stars for every single form of lead generation. And these people that we've been interviewed to get on our call sheet, you need to be doing the bulk of your business out of that form of lead gen. So the first course in this series was Sphere of Influence and Database. I think we interviewed 28 rock stars here. And we went out and we compiled what they had to say. Now, look, you've all been in this business for a while in betting. You've all been to that training where that person stands up and tells you exactly what they did at that thing. Now, maybe they did it 10 years ago, maybe they did it 10 days ago, but they're going to tell you what they did, which is cool if you're like them. Same behavioral style, same market, same customer, same price point, same desire to do that form of lead generation the way that they did it. I think it's better to work it the other way. Get a bunch of rock stars to tell you how they do it. And by the way, those 28 people, they had some commonalities, but they were all doing it a little bit differently. So we compiled all of that into a 12-month engagement calendar. Literally every single month, every week, we tell you their direct message scripts, their email scripts, their phone scripts, their client gift ideas, their client event ideas, their social media posts. We give it all to you. And we do it, by the way, in a series of playbooks. In addition to the 60-page manual that has all their strategies in it, we then went and did step-by-step playbooks for some of the most unique ideas. Give you an example. Jeremy Kane, I mentioned him earlier. So Jeremy does this thing every year. He sends out a note for his tier A, right? Not his whole entire sphere of influence, but his tier A, specifically past clients and people likely to refer him. And he calls it the annual review. He sends them a box of crumble cookies, which who doesn't like that? And an invitation to sit down with him. And what he says is, hey, listen, you'll sit down for at least an hour each year with your financial planner for a $25,000 stock portfolio. Who's sitting down with you and coaching you on the biggest asset that you own, how much it's appreciated and how to make it appreciate more? Because I'd love to do that. And by the way, whether they say yes or not doesn't matter. He's just made the touch. He's made the offer. He's added value. And he can always send them something. Now, when he prepares, he doesn't just prepare CMA. There's a whole entire thing he does. We have a playbook dedicated to exactly what he does. But he sits down with them. He walks them through how their asset has gone over the past year, what they could do to improve it. He's got his vendor list. And then he takes the opportunity to then ask for a referral. Do you think for 1 second after doing all of that work, he's at all hesitant about asking a referral? And do you think for 1 second after doing all that work that his tier A clients have any qualms whatsoever about referring him? And again, that's just one of many strategies that we have in here. But I'm going to focus on this because this is tomorrow. So this is open houses. Same thing. We went out, and I think it was like 26 or 27 top open house agents. And you go in, Bri, I don't do open houses because I don't do listings or I don't have enough inventory. Stick with me because neither did these rock stars. The difference between how they look at an open house and how most agents look at an open house, most agents look at an open house as something that I do once I get a listing or something that I have to do because the seller makes me when I get a listing. All of these guys looked at it as a lead pillar, which means that they were doing multiple open houses per week, which means they weren't holding their listings open. So, let me give you an example. So, when we talked to these folks, they gave us their strategies for before, during, and after open houses. So let me tell you, you guys got a pen handy? You guys got a pen handy? All right, I'm going to tell you how to do the perfect open house. You with me? Everybody ready? You got your pen? All right, first, we're going to knock the door of 200 homes around the target property. Okay? Everybody with me? No, you're not. I just lost 90% of you, didn't I? 90% of you are like, oh no, we're not. We're not knocking that door. What are you talking about? Are you crazy? What do you want me to ask for something? No, heck no. And I get that. So let me tell you a few different strategies. So you see Kim Fraser's playbook here. So Kim doesn't knock the doors, but she does go up to them. And she has a great open house door hanger that she uses to invite all the neighbors. By the way, we give you her template. And when the neighbors are out, she ends up having those conversations. Renee Funk is another one that we interviewed. Her strategy's in here too. Now, she's not going to ask you for any information. She is going to go knock your door and she's going to tell you, hey, the neighbors have asked me to invite the close neighbors here to a pre-open house celebration. We're going to serve wine and cheese. You can come and ask whatever questions. Thanks so much. Hope to see you there. And starts to walk away. You'd be surprised how many of them stop her and go, whoa, 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 whoa. How's the market? But she's not asking for anything. Now, Cody Whitesell is asking for something. Cody does over 200 deals a year from open houses, by the way. Now, he's going to knock the door because he wants to do a listing presentation, and he does. You want his strategy? All of that and more is in here. And again, before, during, and after. So, all of these agents told us, look, the open house is just an excuse. It's just an excuse to go make more friends. And so what you do before, during, and during, and after the open house is critical. And if you don't have great systems, use theirs. So let me give you an example. Here, you might want to take a picture of this. In the course, by the way, there's nine. And if you want to know what the ninth one is, come tomorrow. We'll tell you. But we got this from one of our top agents, Brian Kelsey. And I don't care if you do open houses. Doesn't matter. If you work with buyers, pay attention. What he does when you walk into his open houses, he says, hey, welcome. But instead of saying that same old tired come on line that all of us use, the sellers have asked for a record of everybody who comes through the home. Because all that's going to get you is Mickey at mickeymouse.com and 555 as the phone number. Instead, what Brian says is, hey, welcome in. And he's got a big pop-up banner behind him, by the way, that says Four Ponds. And he says, if you'll just sign in here for the sellers, I'll also then give you access to my Four Ponds. Well, what's that? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Most agents and their clients fish out of one pond, and we call that the MLS. Any agent in this entire city can put you into the MLS. In fact, you can too. However, my clients and I fish out of four ponds because you want to see every home that's available that fits your criteria, not just the ones on the MLS, right? Okay, great. Sign in here and I'll give you access to that. Now, so Brian's four ponds are different than others. And I'll give you an example. So Smita Singh, one of her four ponds, is to call up her local builders before her open house, chit chat them up and say, hey, by the way, what inventory do you have that's not yet on the market? Because I'm going to have some buyers this weekend for my open house. And if it fits their criteria, I'd love to show it for you. Wouldn't you know that after a couple of years of doing that, that now all of the builders in Sugarland, Texas, when they have inventory that they want marketed through an agent, call up Smita. Now, Smita is a good example too of something else. So I mentioned the door knocking. So Smita does branded open house signs. She puts out about 40 to 80 of them. Here's what's interesting. Smita won't knock a door to save her life. I love her. She and I are friends. I tease her about this. If she would just use Renee Funk's approach, don't try to sell them on anything. Don't ask them for anything. Just invite them to a pre-open house neighbor party. They would say two things to her every time they open that door. Oh my gosh, you're a real person. I see your signs everywhere. Those of you who are using those cheapy red directional Amazon signs, stop it. If you think directional signs are about finding the open house, you're absolutely missing 90% of the opportunity of an open house sign, which is to let the neighborhood know I'm King Kong in this neighborhood. I am the realtor. And if you do this, and especially if you adopt this strategy of making open houses a pillar where you're doing multiple of them per week, you're going to be the dominant force in that neighborhood in no time because nobody will miss your signs. By the way, as part of this, we got Build a Sign to give us a 60% discount on their open house package that they created for us. I want to switch gears and I want to show you something. How are we doing on time? Good. You guys might be going, okay, maybe you're starting to convince me. By the way, are you seeing this? Yeah. Okay, so this is Payson Robertson. He's one of the people that we interviewed for open houses. So Payson, you can see, take a look at Payson real quick. See his photo? When Payson got into real estate, he's 19 years old. His friends aren't buying houses, they're doing keg stands. What are you talking about? So he's got no business and he's got nothing going on. And so he decided he was going to do 100 open houses in 100 days. And he did. By the way, by day 45, he had 15 deals in process. 6 months after his open house adventure, he had 37 deals. Today, he has a team. They do over 250 deals a year, and they do it from open houses. So there were other folks too who did similar challenges, Calais and Hunter on Dylan Nanaka's team and all that. And then Joe Turco was doing 5 open houses a day. And so we decided we would do something to try to help our agents do open houses. So with EXP, even if you don't have a listing, you always have the ability to hold open other EXP agents' listings. Now, we did a pilot on this tool that I'm about to show you. After the April 28th open house class, we did a 30-day challenge. We had 34 agents do 180 open houses in 30 days, about 5 each. For the vast majority of them, none of them were their listings. They were other agents' listings. So let me show you how. So here, this allows you to go in here and quickly find a listing that matches your criteria. I'll look in my area to see if there's anything worth holding open. You know what? I like this one here on Day Ridge. It kind of meets my criteria, 4 bath, 3.5 bedrooms. It's listed by Dana Epstein. Now, I don't know Dana, but let's see if she likes my value proposition. Because when I go and set up my profile, I can put in my value proposition to say, hey, Dana, I'm me. I saw your listing here on Day Ridge. If you'll let me hold it open, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to talk to X number of neighbors. I'm going to do X number of social media posts. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then I can send that request or I could just call her up. I've got her contact information in here as well. And then when Dana says yes, I can click right here and add this listing to my dashboard. Now, once I have my listing ready to go, or Dana's or whomever's listing, I can go through, I can schedule my open house here, no big deal. I can start up my kiosk mode. I'll show you that in a second. Or I can create a QR code lead magnet. In the system, I can get all of the listing details for this listing. I can create a lead magnet of similar properties, go on here and dial in all the search criteria and get similar properties, or I can upload my own, like my 9 ponds, whatever the case might be. Once it's in here, I can preview it. Here you see I did the listing details for this listing, so it's got the property, the details, all the photos, and so on and so forth. Now it's all queued up. Once I do that, then I can go in here and I can start my kiosk mode. And you'll notice right off the bat, I had to put a pin in here because whenever I go to exit kiosk mode, I also have to put that pin in here. So now if I leave my iPad at the front of the open house while I'm showing the kitchen, nobody can get out of my iPad and start putting leave now scam on my iPad, for example, because apparently people are that intelligent. Now, when people go in here and register, you see the first page of the registration. So I'm just going to put in my basic contact information. And this part I call the BS test. Are you working with a real estate agent? If they say yes, great. What's their name and phone number? I'll let this in the property details. Oh, well, we're not really working together. Cool. When they check this box here, they've not only agreed that I'm not currently your agent, meaning agency disclosure has been confirmed, also they've just waived their TCPA DNC and they've given you consent to call them by checking this box. And all that's plain English for them. Once they check in, that's it. Lead created. However, if part of your scripting is, thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Potential Buyer, for signing up. I'll be sure to send you that whatever I promised you as the reason why you just signed up. By the way, if you'd like ongoing access to off-market listings that meet your criteria as well as the latest ones that hit the MLS, if you'll just tell me a little bit more about your home search, I'll be sure to set that up for you. They can put all that in here and they can then check in. Once they do, again, you have to see my super secret luggage password. Once they do, then that lead is now created in here. I've already set it up with Lofty. We are in the works with Close and also with Bold Trail to where as soon as this lead is created, it's automatically created as a contact in those CRM of choice. More to come on that. Lofty is good to go. Close and Bold Trail are not far behind. If you use something else, you can always export this, but you'll see in here all of the property information that they put in, if they put in their search criteria, that you've got a record of their consent with a time stamp on it here for you, so you are all good to go. Now, I mentioned before being able to send Dana a report. Once I've held that listing open, I can go through and I can create a listing agent report. Hey, Dana, thanks so much for letting me hold your listing open. Here's what all I did. Now it creates it as a unbranded white label report that Dana can simply turn around and hand to her seller and say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is what I caused to have happened. And they never even have to know who Brian Ellington is. If it's my seller, I can generate a report for them out of the open house so they know that I'm doing what I need to be doing to get their home sold. So all pretty cool, but here's something I want to point out to you. So we did a challenge. I mentioned that. Here's that challenge. 34 folks did 180 houses. The houses here on the leaderboard had an average, I think it was 4.29 registrations per open house. We created this because we're going to do challenges once a year at least for our open house class. I was showing a team leader this, and Tristan said, cool, can I have that? Because his team does open houses. Team leaders or rev share group holders, if you want to do open house challenges, just you yourselves, well, now you can. This is debuting tomorrow. You can go in here, you can set up your challenge. You can make it private to where it's invite only and you can get the invite, or you can make it public. Anybody on this platform who wants to join can join. The rules are simple. They're all up here for you so that you understand how the scoring works. And now you can create your own open house challenges. It's a kind of a cool tool. So thanks for letting me take that detour. Let me go back here. Open house ponds. How are we doing on time? Oh, good. All right. So that was open houses, and again, that class is tomorrow, by the way. It's June 23rd, and it's free. We give you all of that, an entire open house system for free. Speaking of which, we went and did the same thing for Instagram. And we just did that course June 9th. We'll do it again. I think it's in August. We're doing the next one. But if you have your camera handy on your phone, take a picture of this real quick. So again, we went out and interviewed, I think it was 28 top Instagram agents. And in this course, by the way, we created an entire calendar of posts, 365 post ideas from these top agents that we interviewed. We give you about a dozen of their playbooks, and I'm going to give you that more. And then we even give you, for each of these courses, by the way, we've been taking all the research, all the transcripts from the interviews, all the course materials, and we put it into an AI tool so that you can customize. So remember when I told you about Jeremy Kane's idea about doing his past client annual review? You can say, hey, I'm me, and here's how I'm different. And it'll say, great, here's how you could do that strategy too. Now, with these 365 ideas, they fell into about 11 categories, 11 types of social media posts. And here you see them. For Instagram, we tell you how to do it as a feed post, as a reel, as a story. Area overviews, pretty straightforward. Hey, by the way, if you're doing area overview Instagrams or YouTubes, who do you think you're likely to attract? This is the pop quiz portion of the test. Who do you think if you're doing
Relocations.
area, what's that?
Relocations.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, relocations. Why is that important? Well, number one, that's going to dictate where you put it, right? Facebook versus Instagram versus TikTok versus YouTube. YouTube is a search engine. If you're doing area overviews, great to put those on YouTube because then they'll live on in perpetuity. Think of them like fishing lines in the water. You've been to the docks, you've seen that old codger out there with 52 poles all sticking in the water. That's what we're talking about here, right? Now, once you build them for YouTube, you can then slice and dice them and make them part of Instagram as well. And again, this is going to dictate your lead magnet. So we're working on a tool right now to create lead magnets for you. But let me give you what Robin Mann and some of the other top agents that we interviewed do to create their lead magnet. Instead of them going out and doing the research, they go onto Facebook to various groups and say, hey, what's your favorite free activity to do with kids on the weekend? What's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite painter? What's your favorite landscaper? Now, they don't do it all at once. But with Facebook, a lot of these groups, you cannot get on and start talking business. You'll get booted out. But what you can do is ask a great question like that. And when people respond, then you go and you DM them and you say, Kim, that's so great. I love Via 313, the restaurant too. Do you like Detroit style or bar style? Oh, I like bar style pizzas too. They're really blah, blah, blah. And that's called rapport building. And that's called widening your sphere of influence. And at the end of it, you have now a lead magnet that's not your opinions, it's the people's choice for your part of town. And now we can package that as an area overview guide. Social proof, market reports, home tours, all these are relatively straightforward. But I want to get to one that I know is going to hit home for most of you on here because I know you would do more social media, except you don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you sound, and you don't know what to say when the camera comes on, right? So let me help you with that. So in addition to all of these, and again, we have the 365-day guide, and it's all programmed into our AI tool. By the way, if you go into the AI tool and say, hey, I like this post idea, help me create the post, it will create the script, it will create the caption, it will tell you what the visuals should be, it'll tell you what the hook should be, all of that. Then all you got to do is press the little red button on your camera. But if you don't like the way you look, let's ease into this. So take a picture real quick of this QR code. These are four different playbooks. I've been talking about these playbooks. And again, we give you about a dozen per icon lead masterclass. We're talking about these playbooks. I want you to go to you see the young woman with the orange sweater on? Her name's Belle Tunstall. Go to her playbook real quick. And I'm going to help you with this. I don't like the way I look. Think about the various moments of a transaction, going on the consultation, signed the agreement, going on the tour, found the home, put in an offer, inspection day, closing day, moving day, all those instances. What Belle does is she does something really simple and she captures the moment without her even being on camera. So I'll give you two examples. One is she was driving to a buyer consultation. She took a picture of the street she was on and it had telephone wires. So she bent the text onto the telephone wires and it said something along the lines of going to help this lovely couple I just met find their next home. Done. 30 seconds. She did another one. Same walkthrough we all do, except she turned the camera on the house, not her, as she walked through the home. 30 seconds, and then put a caption over it that read, final walkthrough on this gym at 123 King Street. Done. Congratulations, you are a TV show producer and you just booked an exec meeting at Netflix. They saw your pilot, they flippin' loved it. They bring you in, they wine you, dine you, they put the contract in front of you for millions. They're about to give you the pen and they say, oh, wait, So that's the pilot. When's the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth episode going to drop? And you say, uh, well, geez, I hadn't really thought about it. I don't know, like whenever the inspiration hits me. You think Netflix is going to hand you that pen and let you sign that multi-million-dollar contract? They're not picking up your show. Why? Because they are an entertainment platform and they need to know when their content is going to be there. Same is true for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, Facebook. It's all the same. They are an entertainment platform. They're going to serve you up if and only if two things. Number one, your post gets engagement. By the way, you got to cook engagement into your post. Jackson Wilkie shared with us he'd been posting for a year before he finally realized I'm not telling simple humans simply what to do next. We need you to do that. We're simple people. You got to tell us what you want us to do. You want us to download something? Do you want us to heart it? Do you want us to share it? Tell us that. The other thing is consistency. If you're not posting regularly, and for, by the way, YouTube, that's 1 to 2 posts a week for YouTube. For Instagram, that's about a post a day. And if you're going, well, gosh, that's a lot. What am I going to say? Well, now you know what to say. Just do what Belle's doing. Run your stories that way. Do your reels when you have inspiration. Do your carousel posts. And by the way, come to the Instagram class. You will never again wonder what in the world you need to say next in any of your posts. We'll give you 365 days worth of it. All right. Thanks for letting me come play. I appreciate it. I'm going to stop now and I can take questions or let you guys wrap up. How can I
We've been
help you?
speaking with Brian Ellington. He trains and coaches and mentors thousands and thousands of agents all across the country and even globally jump on. So now's your chance. If you'd like to ask a question, you can type it into the chat, or if you'd like to do an audible, you can kick your camera on and we will unmute you so that we have to actually manually unmute you because of our trolls that like to visit. So we put that safety feature in there. So does anybody has a question? And if not, we'll let Brian get back to his busy day of taking care of agents. This is your shot if you want to do it right now. And so, Brian, I'll while they're thinking about it there for 1 second, let me see if somebody came in at the bottom. I saw something type in there. If you could give everybody one thing, just the one thing they should take from today, what would that be for them to actually implement? Not just be inspired, but actually implement in their business would be the one thing they'd do today if they did nothing else.
Yeah, I would say have at least three lead pillars, make them complementary. Meaning, if one of your lead pillars is geographic farming, then another one needs to be open houses, period. Right? And then you can figure out what the next ones need to be. But make them complementary and then make them consistent. No matter what you do, I don't care. If you're not doing it regularly, you're not going to get the results out of it. Do them consistently and you will win, whatever the case might be. And if you're not sure how to do it, come see us. We've got a ton of content already on demand for you. Plus, we have all these classes going pretty regularly for you.
Beautiful. So that is Brian Ellington. If I get everybody throw some round of applause in there with the reactions, and I know you can't unmute and tell them thank you, but Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to
Thanks,
seeing you
buddy.
in
That was
Salt Lake
awesome.
City in a few months. There we go.
Yes.
We got
Yeah,
some.
me too. All right.
Thank you,
Listen, I'm
Brian, so
not
much.
EXP's chief learning officer. I'm yours. So if I can help you in any way, please let me know. If I don't know the answer, there's a lot smarter people than me that I can connect you with. Okay. Thanks for letting me come play, y'all.
Thanks,
Thank
Brian.
you.
Guys.
Thank you,
So with
Brian.
that, I will
Bye.
stop the recording and
Thanks.